Good morning, students. I was continuing with your chapter Landforms of the Earth. We have done about the mountains, we have done about the plateaus. Today we will discuss about the most important feature of the land, one of the most important landforms, that is the plains. Type of plains. Now what are plains? Plains are extensively flat land, comparatively flat and level land, which is not very high. Like mountains, we have discussed something more than 600 meters are mountains, less than 600 meters are hills, and below that are the plateaus. And anything less than 200 meters, plain cannot be more than 200 meters. So plains are the most important landforms, because as I have already explained you or discussed, that plains are the land where we can lay railway tracks easily. For cultivation, agriculture, it is suitable. For construction of houses, construction of industries, plains are the most suitable one. That is why the concentration of population or the density of population is maximum in the plain region. Now plains are comparatively flat and level surface of land with least difference in its highest height or the lowest point. The highest and the lowest point. That means the plains here, suppose it can be a little bit higher, little bit lower. So the highest point and the lowest point, the distance is, or the gap is very little. This is one of the characteristic feature of a plain land. These are extensive areas of lowland. Say for example, in India we have the northern plains. Just below the northern mountains, suppose here is the suppose here is the Himalayas, and this region is the northern plains. This region is the northern plains. Now this figure you remember, because while explaining the depositional plain, this will be important. Now many of them are smooth and have a gentle undulating surface. So the three characteristics of plains are comparatively flat and level land with least difference in its highest and the lowest point. These are extensive areas of lowland. And third, many of them are smooth or have a gentle undulating surface. Now based on these features, plains can be of three types. One is the structural plain, one is the erosional plain, another is the depositional plain. So on the basis of this, the plains can be of three types. On the basis of this, structural plain, erosional plain and depositional plain. Structural plain are undisturbed horizontal surface or structures, the most depressed areas of the world, which forms extensive. Now what are structural plain? Now see, suppose because of the endogenic forces, the plates, sometimes it is moving upward and sometimes it is coming down. Now when it moves upward, it is known as the uplift. And when it goes down, it is known as subsidence. When it moves up, it is known as uplift, and when it goes down, it is known as the subsidence. These actions cause plains to be formed, and due to the formation of its structures, so you see different structures. Suppose this figure, you see, this is the previous figure. This was the previous figure, and because of the subsidence, this is the new figure. So because of the endogenic movement of the plates, this was the original structure. It has come down. So it is, when it moves up, it is known as the uplift. When it goes down, subsidence. Now you see why it is known as structural. Because of the movement of the plate, the structure changes. As the structure changes, so it has got the name of the structural plane. Is it clear to all of you? You see, the structure is changing. Previously this was the original structure and this was the present structure. It has gone down. So this is known as subsidence. Had it been moved upward because of the endogenic forces, it could have been called the uplift. Is it clear? So because of the change in the structure, it is called the structural planes. Clear? Next, the endogenic forces. What are endogenic? We have already discussed the endogenic forces and the exogenic forces. Endogenic forces are occurring beneath the surface of the earth. So these are cause of the endogenic. Now these planes cannot be formed. The structural planes cannot be formed because of the exogenic forces. Exogenic forces takes outside the earth, which takes the forces exerted from the outside. Endogenic is which takes place from beneath the earth, inside the earth. That is known as endogenic. Uplift. This uplift means to elevate. Uplift means E-L-E-V-A-T-E. Elevate. Uplift means elevate. Elevate to cause a portion of the land surface to rise above the adjacent area. See, comparatively to the adjacent area, it is moving upward or it is coming down. And subsidence means sinking of an area of the land. So these are the three new terms that you have learned: endogenic, subsidence and the uplift. So this is the example of structural plane. Now this is what is structural plane. So I hope all of you have understood. Because of the change in structure, it is known as the structural plane. Now the East European plane. East European plane of Russia. Plane of Russia. Number 1, East European plane of Russia. Great Plains of North America. I have sent you the study material also. Central lowlands of Australia and the Malabar coastal plains in India. So these are all examples of structural planes. These are all examples of structural plane. Now after this, let us come to the depositional plane. So this is example of structural plane. Now let us move to the depositional plane. What is depositional? These types of planes are formed by the deposition of sediments on a large scale. Now how these sediments are deposited? These are brought down by the natural agents of transportation such as water, ice. It comes down by water, ice, wind, waves, glaciers. Now due to the movement of the type of planes are formed by the deposition of sediments on large scale brought down by the natural agents of transportation. These are the natural agents of transportation. Erosion takes place, and then with the help of these agents the material is transported from one place to another. In this way, the planes which are formed are known as the depositional plane. The deposit eroded material over an area repeatedly over a longer period of time. Now the eroded material, suppose erosion takes place. Now eroded, suppose this is a mountain and the mountain breaks and the small material is eroded. It is being carried away from one place to another, and now this eroded material will be deposited in a particular place. In this way, a large area of land is formed. The land which is formed in this way is known as the depositional plane. Hope all of you have understood. This is how depositional planes are formed by rivers are known as alluvial plain. Now depositional plain which are formed by the rivers are known as alluvial plain. The Gangetic plain, which I was explaining you at that time, the northern plains, the Gangetic plains or the Brahmaputra plain are examples of alluvial plain. Because why it is known as alluvial plain? Alluvial plain because from the mountain, see, this is how the deposition of alluvial plains. This is the mountain. This is the mountain, and from where the rivers originate. Where the rivers originate, and while the rivers are coming down, it is along with it, it is bringing the rocks. And the rocks are getting hit into the mountains. By hitting into the mountains, these big rocks are broken into smaller pebbles and stones. And when it reaches the plain land, it is converted into finer particles, which are known as the alluvium. And the soil and the land which is formed by this, the deposition of alluvium brought down by the rivers, are known as the alluvial plains. Is it clear? Understood all of you? And the last that is left is the erosional plain. The last that is left is the erosional plain. Erosional plain, these plains are formed as a result of weathering and erosion due to glaciers, winds, underground water and sea waves. These are known as the erosional plain. And the Loess plain, another important thing which I have to explain is the Loess plain, Loess. The Loess plains are formed by the deposition work of wind. By the wind takes away the eroded material and deposited in a place. The plain which is formed by the wind is known as the Loess plain. The margins of Western Rajasthan or the Pampas in Argentina. These are examples of Loess plain. Plains which are formed by the wind is known as Loess plain. So with this, students, let me end here. All of you take care of yourselves, stay safe and stay healthy.